the big earthen dam of Oroville. And if you're on a motorcycle, which this would have been a great ride for a motorcycle, come to think of it, but you can park closer. I'm going to take my little Zizzle bike and try not to crash again, because if I go down that hillside, it's going to hurt. But yeah, it's a gigantic earthen dam. And this is Oroville Lake. And that's where Godzilla was born. And in case you're wondering, Godzilla is a big lizard, very gigantic. And he storms places like Tokyo. But that's Oroville Dam, yo. I'm going to take a little bike ride on the Zizzle and try to stay upright this time. All right, later. Almost crashed again because I was going to try to unmount the phone from the bike as I'm riding. Anyway, I'm on top of the dam now. I'm out of breath. Came down that hill, parked up there somewhere. Beautiful day, March. Get my COVID vaccine today, hopefully, the first one of the Moderna. But my appointment's not till like 4. So I'm killing time. I used to live up here, spent 2 years living up here. I took a boat out here one time, and there was all kinds of floating debris, logs and trees and whatnot. You can't really see it now, but there was a ton of it when I was out there, and my motor was chewing it up. I just decided, no, I like the Afterbay better. But anyway, in the distance there's a boat ramp at the end of this dam that I'm on, and it lets out down there. And this lake is gigantic. It's one of the bigger lakes in California, I think. Beautiful day. All right, I'm going to film the other side here in a minute. I don't know if I can ride a bike over there. Here we go again. Riding one-handed. Just don't break. Zizzle, don't fail me. Or rather, Tony, don't fail. Oroville's that way. There's Sutter Buttes in the distance. Car coming. I'm about to die. Great view. Now I'm trying to figure out how I stop one-handed again and not crash. That's what got me last time. Slowly, slow. That's a hurt right here. I didn't realize it was so hard to stop with one hand. Well, I can see that boat ramp now. I'm going to zoom in and see if you guys can see it. Yeah, right there. Parking for the boat ramp and the boat ramp. Oroville Dam and Oroville Lake. And you can drive across it. On the far end of this, there's a spillway that years ago, that thing came apart during a heavy winter we had. And there were flood warnings. They evacuated Oroville, I think even Yuba City. And then in that direction, if you climb up in the hills, you can't really see them from here because those hills are not it. But if you continue that way, there's actually hills in the distance beyond that. That was the town of Paradise that burned down past here. They're less than 30 minutes away from there, and I guess it doesn't really exist anymore. I don't know if they're rebuilding that or not, but yeah, this whole area got evacuated because of the fires and the floods before that. Or it didn't flood, but they were worried because the spillway came apart, crumbled, and so there was evacuations for that too. Anyway, I didn't crash the bike, so that's good. I'm going to cut out now and enjoy my ride before I get hit by a car. That's the spillway. I forget how many years it's been, but that thing came apart. The concrete just came apart, and we had so much overflow. That's what it's used for, overflow. We had such a heavy winter that Oroville Lake was bursting to the maximums all the way up to the line there, the tree line just about. And so what they do is they release water here, but they had to release so much they couldn't handle the pressure and the flow, and it started crumbling and coming apart. And so they had to evacuate the entire city of Oroville at that point. At that time I wasn't living there, but I'm not living there now either, which I regret. I love this place. It's a beautiful place. If you like the outdoors, Oroville's got it all. You got afterbays, the lake. You've got a free shooting range. You got a recreational vehicle place. You've got up there in the mountains straight ahead of me, that's where Feather Falls is, actual waterfall. And if you look at that mountain in the distance that looks like it's white, I'm going to zoom in for you. That's called, I believe that's called Bold Top Mountain. Don't quote me, I might be wrong on that. But anyway, that's an Indian legend. There's supposed to be some big giant creature or man living up there. Go figure, right? Sasquatch country. So that's old, I think, Maidu Indian or Ohlone Indian. I forget which Indian tribe was up here. But they also found an Indian out here named Ishi back in the early part of the 19th century. And he was the last of his tribe. And they found him wandering around here almost like starvation mode. And so he became a world sensation because he was the last member of his tribe. But anyway, I'm going to ride back across this dam. Didn't take me that long on the Zizzle to get across. Almost crashed again. Turned her brake one-handed. I don't know why is it. Zizzle's been holding up for the most part. I cracked my phone and scraped my knee a little bit earlier, but Zizzle held up perfectly fine in the crash and has proven to be a real survivor. All right, guys. Another little note. That's the Sutter Buttes in the distance. There's a television station that keeps their antenna array on top of it. Later.